Yo, 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 yo. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's moving day. It's hump day. It's oil day. It's your day. The trader's way. Let's go!
Why does he always have to scream? Why does he scream? He screams too much.
What up, B-Man? Bum. What's up, B-Man? Book Fixer, Betty. Hello, my name is Wayne MacD. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Boom, shalaka. Check that out. Check that out. Wah, wah, wah. Check that out. Wah, wah, wah. So, I'm going to blow up the computer. I'm getting a new one. Already ordered it. 6 4Ks are on the way, man. 6 4Ks. Requires a huge power supply, requires a huge processor, requires huge graphic cards, huge motherboard. We're going to try it. May not have ever been attempted before. So anyways, looking forward to that, because that just unacceptable. Sounds like you got some sleep. I went to bed at 12:30, and I was up about 5:45, in the shower at 6. Yeah, I got huge, way more than normal. So it's like one of these things we were talking about it before. So I'm doing Harvard stuff, obviously. I got final exams next week. I'm doing a research paper this week, turning it in. So like, dude, if I'm spending 8 to 10 hours a day doing Harvard stuff, and you're spending 20 minutes a day on your Forex stuff, I'm winning. You should be putting in the same effort in Forex. Because you know what? Forex is going to make you more money than Harvard is. So, dude, you better step up is all I'm saying. I'm just saying, you have an opportunity to step up and be great. Are you grabbing it? I don't know. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying you should be. This is the most important thing ever. It's going to change your life and the lives of everyone around you. It's going to help you achieve your goals, and then you're going to have to create entirely new goals that you've never been brave enough or audacious enough to have ever created for yourself. So anyways, do you have a backup power supply? No. No, I don't. A friend of mine does. So if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to my friend's house because he's got backup generators and stuff like that. But no, I don't. I have redundant air conditioning. I have redundant internet. And every time the internet guys come over, they're like, there's another cable coming in. So I say to the Comcast guy, yeah, that's AT&T. And then the AT&T guy's over and he's like, there's another cable here. Yeah, that's Comcast. You have 2 coaxial cables? Yeah. So anyways, I get that look. Hey, by the way, my name is Wayne McDonald. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client. I am here to, I preach to teach, because some of you never had this. So we'll cover technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology, whatever you want to talk. I'll let you be the boss. I'll start out with some basic dollar pairs and yen pairs and gold and oil and that kind of stuff. Then we'll cover a couple of things that you want to cover. And then, boom, we're out of here. Okay? Simon says, the Trader's Way demo is sweet. Well, typically what a broker does is they don't want to drag your the connectivity or the bandwidth down for live accounts. So a demo account usually has a slower bandwidth and slower execution speed and stuff. That's just because you want to keep and protect all your live, guys, right? So if you're finding that the demo is whooping the butt of your existing brokerage firm, wait till you see the live server. Ciao. And I haven't tested it for a few years, but yeah, it must have been about 3 years ago. There was a third-party testing service, and I can't remember what it was. I'd like to do it again. But anyways, it showed the execution speed of like 20 brokers or something around the world, maybe 30. And Trader's Way was way up there. And the big boys, I'm not going to name names, but the big boys, the big names, they were slow. Some of them like really slow, but they have like 30,000 clients and they're all stuffing them on one server because I guess they can't afford a second server. But anyways, Trader's Way was one of the fastest, faux show. Anyways, people are feeling the trade deal. Yeah, all this stuff. And I guess let me switch over to the charts. Yeah, there's a lot of talk in especially the media about this trade deal and the stock market's crashing and stuff. I always find it frustrating because if you study game theory, and I guess at some point, that's a weird thing, right? Like at some point, maybe most people don't know the math, but Trump is actually doing a very good job of game theory. So going into a deal with a loaded gun is really the right thing to do. So it's a really good negotiation tactic and stuff. So anyways, long story short, the market's crashing like, oh my God, the guy's crazy. He's raising tariffs again. He's going to screw up the trade negotiations and stuff. I'm like, actually, that's exactly what you should be doing. So you might think he's a scumbag. You might think he's a psychopath, but the boy actually knows how to negotiate. If you actually have taken, in international political economy, we first studied, I first was introduced to game theory, and I was fascinated by it. And my professor was amazing. That international political economy class was just, the professor was a rock star, very famous at Harvard. So anyways, I'm like, oh my God, I want to take a whole class on that. So I think my next professor was also a rock star in the game theory world, which is statistics and math and a bunch of things all combined together. So I took a game theory class, imagine doing the game trees and the mathematics for all these different things for like 16 weeks. Like I really got into game theory. And then just even in this class that I'm in now, there was one lecture on game theory. And typically I spend about 12 hours doing my problem sets. And I busted that one out in like 40 minutes and got, I think I got 93.5% on that. So like I know my game theory. I'm not a PhD in game theory. I'm not an expert in game theory, but I've studied it some. And he's making the right moves. It's just so everyone's worried the stock market's crashing and all that. But and by the way, I don't think they're going to do a deal coming up. This meeting here. They're not going to do a deal. So, yeah, there might be further down a stock market decline. But long story short, the negotiations are going as you would want them to go. So maybe the stock market decline is unwarranted. But then I start thinking about, there's a double top in the stock market. It's a wise time to start taking some profit off the table. Typically, there is sort of an exhaustion period going into the summer. And then what you actually want is you want the stock market to drop, let's say reasonably significantly, but not terrifyingly, so that you can basically buy in May and go away. So that's fine. And going back to like what Joe made a comment about the Fed, I started to make a comment yesterday and I didn't finish it. How the stock market fell 3 times in the last 3 or 4 years, more than 10%. And that all had to do with the Fed. And now the Fed is actually saying they're not going to raise interest rates further. So these pullbacks are, I think, more related to, well, fear because people didn't do their homework. And then B, there's a lot of seasonality. Why not take some money off the table if you've made money over the last 8 years in the stock market and then redeploy it? So if I was advising someone, I might say, well, take some money from your most profitable trades, get out of any of your bad trades, and then sort of put buy orders. Buy at a 10% decline, buy a little more on a 20% decline, and God forbid, but maybe buy a little more on the 30% decline, but out of the profits that you have taken. So yeah, there's some dollar cost averaging, but not really, because you're not throwing bad money, good money after bad. You're taking good money off the table and then putting it back, redeploying it at lower prices, right? Because the analysis I'm doing now suggests the stock market will recover from whatever fear is going on now, and by the end of the year will be higher, and next year will probably be even higher than that. So I'm just thinking about that. Yeah, and Joe says hedge fund managers got burdened on VIX and stuff. You know, good. Good, because just because they're hedge fund managers doesn't mean they're smart. Most of them are idiots too. Okay, so anyways, what I would like to do is I'd like to buy the VIX in July. It will probably be 8. And you watch. By September, it'll be 25. Boom, free money. So anyways, good for them. Okay, so we'll start there. Barry says, pound dollar, sure. And what else? Batman says, isn't it sell in May and go away? Yeah, that's why it probably works. Remember, if that's what the saying is, if everyone's selling in May, then someone should be buying. Because I think the stock market will finish the year up. So as it falls down, I'm going to buy it. Not out of dollar cost averaging, because that implies you didn't get out at the top. I'm saying you should, and by the way, we talked about this 6 months ago, right? 6 months ago, we talked about this. Thin the herd. When you're at the top, take some profit out of the best winners, dump any losers, right? And now go to cash, so you have dry powder. And based on your analysis, if you believe the stock market will continue, and you should be able to tell me reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And if you have those 3 reasons, then pick your points. Are you buying back 10% down, 20% down, 30%? But actually, you know what? I gave that speech a little more than 6 months ago, and the stock market dropped 20%, just like that. I thought, A, I didn't think it would drop 20%, and B, I didn't think it would drop that fast. But you would have, in that very quick drop that we had in January, if you had your order, so I said pick 2 or 3 stocks that you would like to buy, you like the companies, you like their earnings and all that, but you haven't been able to afford to buy them. Buy some, you put some buy orders, 10% decline on them, and put some buy orders on a 20% decline. And then like in 2 days, it dropped 20%. Well, you would have been in, and now it's gone all the way back to the top. So you could say, well, I'm only up 20%. Anyways, let's move on.com. So dollar pairs and all that kind of stuff. Cool. One of the things I want to point out here, first of all, right? This is a sell zone. This is a sell zone. I sold it here, broke even on this trade. Okay, bulls are supposed to buy this. I'm never a bull on this, so it doesn't matter. I wouldn't buy it, but somebody did. And that was a good trade. Then it just gets us back up to here. Okay, this is all tightening, right? Tightening, tightening, tightening. But if you were a bull here, you'd be a bull here, right? So these are all weekly strats, right? So what are the bulls doing now, right? And why did they buy here? Check it out. This is where bulls buy on a daily chart, and this is where bulls buy on a daily chart. They're just doing day trades. So one of the things I've decided to do, or I think I've decided, I want to focus more on trader psychology for the FX Bootcamp courses. We talked about it yesterday. not even really trading stuff, more like lessons on how to be a success. And I really am going to have to reach deep into the Wayne McDonald vault from things I was doing even 30 years ago, because they did lead to pretty amazing successes. So I'd like to reach into that to share like maybe some of the lessons of how I applied that to Forex and how to get yourself there, because I was very lucky. Well, first of all, I've always had a drive. I've always wanted to change the world. But then I was mentored at a very young age by some of the most amazing people on the planet. So I learned a few things and I was smart enough to pay attention. So I'd like to share those lessons. But then the other thing is, there's lessons on scalping, there's lessons on swing trading, there's lessons on spot trading and market open trading and some scalping and swinging and spot. It's all there, and maybe add like a proper day trading course as well on the back of my mind. So maybe before summer school and after summer school, I can start banging some of those up. The day trading one I can do easy. The other one, I think, might be a life's work, actually. Could be very interesting. But anyways, I just want to point that out. This looks like at least the bulls are doing what they're supposed to do. You can see the buy here and the buy here, and they're doing it. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. Right? So this is looking interesting. And because there were real buyers here and real buyers here, I'd almost guess that, by next week, we will make a high on this, which means whatever is happening now, the stock market will continue down, which tells me the way it's behaving now is they're not expecting a trade deal between the United States and China, nor am I. So I'm like, yeah, they're probably right. So China's going to go back to China without signing a deal with the Trump administration, and it'll be the end of the world. Oh, my God, it's the end of the world. Which is fantastic, because I want you to remind yourself, the fear is inefficiency and the blood in the street is opportunity. If you have cash, which means you have to be smart enough to get out at the top and smart enough to have plans to buy when there's blood in the street. Okay? I'll remind you that during the last big recession, I bought a car from a car dealer. He had this ginormous mansion in North Atlanta. I'm sure it was leveraged to the hilt. He lost his 2 car dealerships because no one was buying cars. There was no financing. This guy was desperate. And I remember I wasn't even looking. It was an AMG 55, and I wasn't even looking at AMGs. But anyways, somehow it came on my radar, so I'm going to go look at this car. And this guy was like desperate for me to buy it. Apparently, like 2 people came, said they would buy the car from him. He's a car dealer, right? But they had to finance it because they don't have any cash. And they couldn't get the financing. So I said, well, I'll give you $25,000 right now in cash. Actually, I cut him a check, but it was my my private account at Merrill Lynch. So I'm like, this is cash. This is cash. This is cash. You could eat this. So I bought a $60,000 car. It was pre-owned, 60, 70,000. Bought a $70,000 car for 25 grand. Why? I had cash. Got to be smart enough to be liquid when everyone else is insolvent. Okay? So these kinds of lessons are kind of happening now. Like, you have to remind yourself, people don't know fundamental analysis. People don't know technical analysis. And I'm telling you, even the professionals don't. And they don't understand what a double top is. Right? People just don't know. And they don't know how to behave, and they don't know how to plan. So these things might seem obvious to you, but you should actually, have the brains to do the analysis and the fortitude and discipline to carry it out. I think you'll be fine. Well, and Joe, they're not surprised that there's blood in the street either. It's like this freak out, right? Maybe it's just the media. Maybe the media is like, oh my God, Trump is threatening to raise tariffs again. It's the end of the world. But maybe people were looking to get out anyways. You know, like it might be all nonsense, but it kind of feels that way anyways. So, but you should do something when you're at a double top. You should expect that. Okay? So long story short, if you know how to trade your way out of this, you'll be fine, guys. Your neighbors, if there's another big decline, let's say the double top holds and the stock market's going to decline for the next 5 years. Okay, let's say that happens. What's going to happen to your neighbors? Broke. What's going to happen to your family? Broke. What's going to happen to your friends? Broke. What about you? You're supposed to make money. The foreign exchange market, right, is supposed to make money. Absolute returns. Stock market goes down, make money. Stock market goes up, make money. Stock market goes sideways, make money. Okay? So I want you to think about that. Are you truly being that person? And if you haven't been, now's the time to get on the clue train, because there will be a major stock market decline. I don't think this year, maybe next year, almost for sure the year after. You better be on your A game by then. Okay? Reb, I'm not sure what you mean. Why? So I'm just reminding you why you're here. It's not to make a bunch of money quick and all that kind of stuff. Once you got skills, you'll see it. When everyone else is in a world of hurt, you'll be doing just fine. But here's the thing. Because nothing changes for you, you have absolute returns in Forex. It doesn't matter to you if the stock market's going up or down. You're making the same amount of money. But you should also be liquid to buy other assets when the valuations drop. Do you see what I mean? So the current home I live in now, I offered a ridiculous offer for the house to the bank during the financial crisis, but I did with a bunch of other houses too. And the bank said, "How dare you? That's insulting." Right? They did. They were insulted by my low offer. So I came back a year later, offered 20% less than that, and they thanked me. Why? Because I had cash, I had credit, I had availability, and everyone else was dead broke. Dead broke. People were starving. Thank you, Forex. So that's where I'm pushing you, right? Oh, Reb, no, that's only non-farm payrolls. Okay? So I'm trying to get your head screwed on straight. This is what you're going to do. If you get this right, don't think about yellow Lamborghinis. If you get this right, think about when the tide drops and all ships hit the bottom of the sea. You're in a balloon. And you're like, oh, look at that. And you'll find that boats, you'll get a good deal on a boat if you want one. Go find a nice boat. I don't know, whatever. Right? I want to get you there, guys. You got to think. So you're going to need to know all these skills, and you got to be ready. Don't treat this like a game. Okay? Yeah, how about, shorting stock? I was thinking about, what point do you put, what point do you short Berkshire Hathaway? When Warren Buffett or his buddy, what's his name, Munger? When those guys visit the angels, that's got to be straight down forever, right? Like, what's Berkshire Hathaway without Warren Buffett? So that might, you need to hang out in Omaha and talk to doctors You need to employ someone to just watch the hospitals and looking for Warren Buffett. And then, Bud Fox, I want you on your motorcycle and down at the hospital. I want you to look for Warren Buffett. Yeah, so Batman, I got rid of my Apple stock when Steve Jobs died. I think, by the way, I think Apple sucks. What are they doing? They're still making iPhones and iPods and iWatches. And are you joking? Without Steve Jobs, there's no new thing. But anyways, okay, let's go through the basics, and then I'll take questions. Boom, nice. Looks like resistance held. Oh, really? Okay, so how do you want to treat this? I want to trap this, is what I want to do. Okay, this is going nowhere fast. Inside week, if this holds, it's an inside week. Your first target is actually S1. Okay, not that middle one. So let me illustrate that. If this is your top, this is your projected bottom. Okay, it's an inside week. I don't expect much. And we got this weird sort of thing going on here. So that just doesn't look easy because we're in the middle of the range and it could go, hey, it could go up, it could go down, whatever, right? Euro dollar. Hey, I thought the world was freaking out. Stock market's freaking out, right? It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we, and you're like, actually not much has happened. Okay. I think I was short this yesterday. Here? At some point, I think I shorted this. It must have been M3's up there, so I must have been short at the central. Looks like it got knocked out. Okay. So, nothing going on there. It's not the end of the world, apparently. Okay, what's going on here? Well, one of the things we did was we trapped this. So now if you consider this a breakout, you want to buy a dip. That's the first thought. Okay? If you're a bull, this was your buy zone, and then you got this. So that's a lot of support. Okay? And if you're a bear zone, if you're a bear, this is the first place to short. Doesn't look like that happened. And there's going to be another one above here, which is just kind of off the chart. Okay. Recession proof? I don't know. How about like healthcare? Right? But I don't know. That's probably cyclical. Yeah. So just look at what the opportunities you have in front of you, guys. That you have a recession-proof business. I mean, I say all these things because I want you to take it more seriously. I want you to be more committed. I'll use myself as an example. Again, if you didn't spend 10 hours studying Forex yesterday, like I studied my Harvard material, then I'm winning. You're missing out. You're not taking it serious enough. You're not scared enough. And maybe you don't know. maybe you don't understand this opportunity in front of you. So I'm trying to put everything in perspective, right? I don't know. Life is pretty comfortable in America right now, and it's probably going to get uncomfortable in the next 1,000 days or sooner. Maybe things are already uncomfortable where you live, but Forex is like the most, a skill trading Forex is your, I don't know, your best bet, so to speak. Okay? And it may say, it may just be more important than you think. I don't know how to put it. Anyways, this is where bears live. This is where bulls live. It was actually here. Okay, so if you did your job right, guys, if you're a bull, you bought it here on the first day of the month, and your plan was this. If you did things properly, if you were a bear, you waited, and this was your plan. If you did your job right, you maybe tried to sell in there, but there wasn't even much of a good opportunity. But you can see this cluster. I mean, this is a perfect short entry. And what you want to do in the long run, guys, you don't have to worry about being right. Okay? That's not the thing you need to be thinking about. This is not a game about being right. This is a game of being consistent. Okay? Do you understand that? This is not a game of being right. This is a game of being consistent. Because it's very difficult to be consistently right. But you can trade very consistently. That is something that you can do. And when the market agrees with you, you will do very, very, very well. And when the market doesn't agree with you, you'll do okay. I don't even think you'll lose money. You're like, oh, you were wrong here. Yeah, I only made 120 pips. Yeah, so sad. Boo-hoo. Right? You need to learn how to trade and then learn how to have the discipline to trade your strategy. And when the market agrees with you, you'll do very, very well. And when it doesn't agree with you, you'll do okay. So if you were a bull, you had an opportunity to make money. Maybe you jammed your stop. You know to jam your stop here. You know to. That's where bears are going to dump it. You know that. That's the beautiful thing about trading. You know it. You know it in advance. You knew it a week earlier. You're like, well, if this goes up, bears are going to try to sell it here and here. We blow through the first one. You're like, ooh, wow. And look at this cluster. Oh, my God. There's going to be like a ton of bears living here. It's clear. It's obvious. It's straightforward. So what it comes down to is if you're a bull, you have the guts here. You jam your stop when you approach this because you know bears are going to get there. Now, the bears are doing the same thing. They're going to sell here, right? And they're going to take it down. But they're going to jam their stop around here because they're worried about this and that. They're probably worried about this, but now they're here. Now, if I was a bear, I'd highly recommend you consider taking profit because the next move is this and this. Okay? Okay? And that is what? A breakout roll reversal. Cool. Okay? I want you to be consistent. Do you understand? You're not necessarily going to get, you're not always going to be profitable. You're going to go through weeks and maybe months of mediocrity, but you will be disciplined. You will be consistent, but your results will be mediocre. But that's the market. If you swing both ways like a broken gate consistently, Like, that's how you bring consistency to the table. You don't trade consistently. You're just all over the place. You're a mess. And at the same time, the stock market's all up and down, up and down. You're up and down, up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And you're trying to time things through there? And you expect to be consistently profitable? Are you delusional? Try to explain the math to someone. Well, the market is crazy inconsistent, and I'm crazy inconsistent, but you put them together, and I expect to make consistent results, and I'm going to get myself a yellow Lamborghini. It just doesn't even make sense. Right? So how do you do it? You're consistent, right? That's your alpha. The beta is the market. When the alpha and beta are congruent, your profits will skyrocket. When the alpha and the beta lack congruency, you'll probably be reasonably profitable. And at the end of the year, you're a genius. Models and bottles, baby. If that's what you want, go lease yourself. Go lease yourself a Lamborghini. And why lease it, not buy it? Because it costs you a couple of $1,000 a month to lease your stupid Lamborghini to make yourself feel happy. And you take the other, right, $298,000, and you keep it in your Forex account because it's worth 100 times more than that. Right? If that's what you want, that's the way to do it. And by all means, do it. Wait till you pay $20,000 to change the brakes. Okay. Swissy yen? Sure trade. Why would you do that? I mean, you'd float it, but then even then you're not earning a yield. So I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Maybe you're not trading it. You're just trying to analyze it. Anyways, let's do a pig dog. Somebody asked about pig dog. This one I don't like as much. This one I don't like as much because this is a nomad's land. This is a nomad's land. Okay. And then what's this? So let's review. Let's try to make sense of this. This is an S1. What does that predict the top to be? Yeah, R1's here. So, how do you want to play it? By the way, if you didn't know that, you should stand up, kick your chair over, and like have a mini freak out. All of them, Kevin. Why? Why do you think you should have 18 screens? Okay. Okay, if you don't know these things, this is why you might be losing money. So I don't know who taught you to trade, but you don't know how to trade. That's all. So Mikey. So I would just say, son of a gun. But then realize your blessing. Okay. Cool. So do I want in on this? Not really. No, not really. I prefer to be a trend trader. Okay, and this just tells me the pound dollar is not trending on a monthly basis. So this is telling me that even though we're only 1/3 of the way through May, we're not likely under current market conditions to be any higher or lower by June. We're not trending. Now, if you had to, you could try to day trade this or session trade, right? So like Ryan's teaching people, trading zones at market opens, right? Which is a form of spot trading. Absolutely, totally necessary. Absolutely ridiculously necessary. How to trade the London Open, how to trade the New York Open, how to trade the Shanghai Open, okay? Okay, cool. And then there's swing trading. But what about day trading, right? There's the Asian session, the London session. Now, how do you string them together into one more thought? Well, I prefer to start with the trend. You see what I mean? Like, how could you day trade if you don't know if it's going up? Like, let's do an example. Let's try to predict the future together. What's likely to happen next? Kevin, well, how would you know if you're not watching everything? Yeah, but Noki is going to move with oil. Why would you ignore it? I would watch Brent. Okay, you guys say up, right? Okay, and then how do you know if you're wrong? That's why you have stop losses. And you're risking this. So if it dropped like this instead, you know the next plan could be this, right? Okay, you see what I mean? You know it's either this or this, and it's probably the same price. It's either going up, or you're going to take a loss and you're going to set up the next one. Okay? But what if it's not going up or down? You see what I mean? So to me, it's an additional level of risk. Right? Like, shouldn't you wait until you're certain? Chaotic, come on, dude. You're in a webinar sponsored by Traders Way and you're asking questions like that? What's wrong with you? That's very disrespectful. Come on, dude. Your mother would be very ashamed. Yeah, well, there's logos and it says Traders Way everywhere, dude. So anyways, yeah, that's all. Hey, that's cool. I said it once. Just saying, pay attention. I figured you didn't know you were being rude, but now you know. Yeah, you're on it, right? Enough said. No harm. Okay, cool. So what's your bias on pound dollar? Okay. What's your bias? Just tell me your bias. Well, Mike, what you're talking about is more of an Asian fade, which is totally fine. That's exactly right. But there should be a more definitional entry than that, right? But yeah. Bears, 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 bears. Oh, everyone's a bear. Amazing. Okay. All right. Well, let's start with bears. Okay. This is called day trading. Sell it in Asia, sell it in Asia, and sell it in Asia. This was it, sorry. Okay. There you go. You see that? Let me do it again. I'll use finer print. You're a bear, great. You sell at the Asia Open, you sell at the Asia Open, you sell at the Asian Open. So you're making money, right? That's all right, Alex. Alex says, I can see bullish entries. Therefore, you're not a bear. Couldn't give two hoots about the bullish entries if I'm a bear. You're either a bear or you're a pig. Okay? You see what I mean? What's your bias? You can't say, well, I see, no, those are places to move your stops and lock in profit. You got that? So they're important, Alex, but they're levels where your risk increases. You're still a bear, and you're like, we're going to go through this, but there could be bulls sitting there. So when you get to that level, lock in some profit. Just even a little bit, 15, 20 pips. Just say it pays for your time. Okay? Cool. Okay? By the way, you shorted here. Why? You were a bear there too. This is why when you reach this area, you should take profit. Okay? You shorted here at Asia Open too. You shorted here, only you made a little bit of money, but then you got paid the next day. Okay. This is where we go back to what I was telling you earlier. You tried to sell here, you very quickly lost money. Did you lose all your money? No. Did you lose a lot of money? No. You tried selling here, you very quickly lost money. Did you lose a lot of money? No. I don't know if you had the opportunity here. Let's say you tried. Did you lose a lot of money? No. You tried here. Did you lose a lot of money here? No. You tried here. Did you lose a lot of money? No. Maybe you made some. Okay. You shorted here. Did you make money? Yeah, eventually. You shorted here. Did you make money? No, you probably lost money. Shorted here. Maybe you made some money. Yeah. Maybe you shorted here. Maybe you made some money. Yeah. You shorted here. Did you make money? Yeah, for sure. So you're like, for sure made money. 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 Maybe made money. Maybe made money. Get rid of that. Maybe made money. Lost money. I'm going to say lost money. I'm going to say lost money and lost money. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 definitely made money. 1, 2. I'm going to count that as a loss. 1, 2, 3. 3 times you maybe made money. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times you lost money. Okay? I'm going to put this as an X instead, sorry. Okay? Do you think you'll be profitable? Well, your losers are small. These are like small, but probably small wins. Much more likely to have made small wins than small losses. But okay, and then you got this, you got some big wins. Okay? Right? So let's add this up. 3 small wins minus 5, right? So now you get down to this. They offset each other. You have 2 small losses, and you have 6 big wins. So let's just offset that and say, what happened to you over the last month? I had 5 big wins. Do you understand where I'm going with sort of the logic? You are not in control of any of this. You see what I mean? You are not in control of the market. You are in control of your behavior. The market is the beta. You are the alpha. When there's congruence between the two, you're going to get paid big. When there's lack of congruence, you're either going to lose a little bit of money or you're going to make a little bit of money. And over the long haul, month after month after month, look, you went a whole week without making any money here and followed up the next day with a loss. But you're consistent. Am I reaching anybody here? Is there anyone going like, oh, I'm starting to get it? And you just do this over and 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 over, and you love it. I tell you, when you're sitting there booting your laptop, waiting for Windows to finally get up and going, you already know you're going to sell the pound dollar. Come on, chaotic. What pair is it? Dude, chaotic. Gee whiz, chaotic. You got to get astute with your eye. You need to sharpen your eye, dude. You're missing like logos, messages on the bottom. Please visit Trader's Way. What pair is it? It's this pair. The one with the giant words on it. No, I do not have a day trading group. Maybe we should. Okay. Okay. Anyways, chaotic. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean to rub you the wrong way. Right on. Right on. Cool. We're good. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have peed on your shoes. That's my bad. I haven't slept much. Okay, I apologize, man. I apologize. All right. Preach to teach. A swing trading group, I think, is very time consuming. It could be interesting. How about this? What if there was like a service where I was thinking about this in a meditation, where you sign up for the service, you pay, let's say, $100 a month, and you log in and you tell us your bias. And then every day, the service tells you how to trade your bias. I would consider it not an alert service, but training wheels. What would you think about that? And it wouldn't be AI, it'd be like ME, but something like that, right? Telegram group? Absolutely not. Sorry, Jade. I've never thought of this before. It came up in a meditation 3 days ago. Yeah, and then I say that, I'm like, then sign up for $99 and you don't do it, so. But whatever. It's just a thought, like, I would never do an alert service. But I thought, I wonder if that'd be interesting training wheels. Chaotic, do you scalp, spot, or swing? No, baby doll, I would tell you your entry and take profit levels. Day trading, I would go with a variable spread. So go with the VAR. Glenn says ECN, that's fine too. I don't like ECNs. There's no difference really. I think ultimately you either pay through a spread or you pay through a commission. And I just hate commissions. I'd rather go with spread. But you might say I hate spreads. You want commissions. So a variable and an ECN account, I think are going to get you about the same thing. If you swing, VAR is probably the same thing, because the thing is the fixed spread or the ECN makes you less vulnerable to spreads widening, and you only care about widening spreads if you're a scalper. If you're not a scalper, then you want the variability. Do you understand that, guys? A variable spread, when the market is liquid, the spread narrows. And then, 1 second after non-farm payrolls, the market goes illiquid and a variable spread will widen. Why? Because your broker's jacking you? Well, maybe your broker's jacking you, but not Trader's Way. But ultimately, and there's tons of people on YouTube saying that, oh, the broker's screwing you because they're widening the spread to screw you. And, that might be true, but those guys actually probably don't know what they're talking about. What happens is we have this interbank system, okay? There's an interbank system. There's no exchange, okay? If you trade S&P 500 futures, it's on an exchange. What does the exchange do? Connect buyers with sellers. Well, Forex doesn't have an exchange. We have to go through an interbanking system. And you need to match buyers with sellers. Well, since there's no real market maker, right? If you're a bank client, your bank can be a market maker for you. But if you're truly trading in the interbanking system, there is no market maker. So when a huge event happens, let's say just non-farm payrolls comes out, prudent traders don't risk money. They don't put money on the line. Amateur retail traders do. But it's not big volume, right? A professional trader say, wow, this is risk. I could lose $1 billion, right? So they hedge and then they wait. Which means right after a big news event, the big boys are not trading. Liquidity dries up. Therefore, if you're like, I want to sell this, the closest opportunity is way up here. The closest seller is like way up here. You have to buy it way up there. Or if you need to sell it, right? You want to sell it, and then like, oh, well, there's a price way down there. It's way down there. It's so far away that you have to stretch. Now, when it's liquid, you got buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers. But when there's very few people trading, you have to stretch farther. You have to go farther out to find the liquidity. That's all the spread is. So when the spread's high, I guess you got to go this way. When the spread is high, the market is illiquid. When the spread is narrow, the market is liquid. Okay? You see what I mean? And that's why a scalper will see spreads wide. But if you're only trying to make 20 pips and the spread widens to 8 pips, that's a big chunk of your profits, right? So maybe you want a fixed spread or maybe you want an ECN. Now, a fixed spread still the spread might be wide, it might not put you in. We call that slippage. You still might slip, like it might just wait. Instead of giving you an 8-pip spread, it might just wait until you can get the normal 3-ish or 2-ish pip spread and then put you in. And you're like, but I don't want to wait, I want in. Well, then if you're a scalper, you want in, you want to be guaranteed in, or let's say guaranteed no slippage, then an ECN account is probably the right thing for you. Does that make sense instead of me just throwing out an answer? Now, do you understand the difference between a fixed spread and an ECN and why you might want them? And then ultimately, if you're not a scalper, you're probably best off with a VAR. I love VAR. Always love VAR. VAR, 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 VAR. Arr! I'm like a trading pirate. I'm a pip pirate. VAR. Yeah. So Mike says he likes the daily candle and stuff. I'm not quite following every word he's saying, but the daily candle. Well, that's what day trading ultimately really is, all right? And the thing is, for the entire 20 years I've been trading Forex, right? One of the most important things to me is the Asian fade. And if you're looking at a daily candle, I might be describing it differently than you, but you might find like, oh, well, there's a lot of similarities, okay? Cool. Are you going to create this? You know what? I could. I don't know if anybody wants it. Yeah, Mike. Well, if you wake up in the morning and you're trying to make a decision, you've already lost your money. That's what I've been saying that forever. If you look at these charts and you're like, okay, I want to do something now, you've already lost. Take your money and burn it. You know, I don't know, Mr. Highvolt. When I first started trading with MetaTrader, it was MetaTrader 4. I've never had a reason to go to MetaTrader 5. I actually don't know the difference, to be honest with you. Why is there a MetaTrader 5? I honestly don't know. Okay. Jorge says make it. You know, I could do something like, let me think. I could do something like, I'll build it, because that's just money, right? I could build it and say, there's a minimum of 100 people. And we'll start when we have 100 people. And if we don't get 100 people, I'm not going to do it. Something like that. It's just like, it's not worth the effort. And if 100 people or more sign up, then yeah, it's worth the effort, right? See, that's the thing. So I think a lot of people want it, but then they're like, yeah, I want you to do all the work, Wayne, and help me confirm all my analysis, and it's going to save me 5 hours of work a day, but I'm not willing to pay $99 a month. You know, like, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the thing is, nobody's going to sign up for it. So it's just funny. You wouldn't believe how many times people have, you know, almost begged for me to start a service, and then I go through, spend 20 grand, I build a service, and then like 20% of the people that begged will actually pay for it. And then I'm like, well, that was a big waste of my time and money. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just cranky. Remember, I haven't slept much, so maybe I'm just being bitchy. And in that case, I apologize. Yeah, well, that's a funny thing, though, right? It's like, it's a mindset, too. And I'm starting to notice it more and more in life. I guess maybe as I mature and I learn more about life. Every day I'm less of a kid, and every day I'm a little bit more of an adult, right? And I'm starting to see that, like, what most people are taught, including myself, from a very young age, is how to live in poverty. And I was looking at even my children's school. It's filled with lots of average people. Most people are average, right? And I'm like, they're not teaching the kids how to be excellent. and above average. And I have above average kids, and they're not doing my kids. They're trying to do my kids well. They're trying to teach them and stuff. But the best that the school has is preparing my children to be upper mediocre. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jorge, I can see how that would work. That would work well, Jorge. That's a good idea. But anyways, there's a whole mindset I'm starting to see in society where we're taught how to be poor. And it's that mindset, like someone said it at NFP, right? I'm like, hey, you can download my chart templates for free. It's in the chart. And the guy's like, why would I want to do that? I could just do it myself. And it just struck me, like, and I said to him, well, here's a guy that would mow his own lawn and wash his own car and shine his own shoes. Like, I have no problem with hard work, and I do hard work all the time. I'm actually, when I love doing hard physical work. You know, just in the last, let's say, month, I've probably spent 5 hours on a chainsaw and dragging things around. Like, I am not afraid of hard work. It's not like, oh, that's all beneath me. Dude, I'm not against that. That's not what I'm saying. But this mindset that your time is so cheap and so unvaluable that you would rather do it all yourself is just a weird thing. To me, you want to hire people so that you could spend more time doing Forex. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be, your time is so ridiculously valuable, you can't afford to be away from your charts. Gardeners, all right, yard needs to be mowed, get a gardener. So I have a I guess you'd call it semi-retired, AKA laid off neighbor. He mows his lawn 3 times a week. He doesn't have anything to do. His time is zero. His time is worth zero. He doesn't make any money. Okay? How do you unplug that? Well, that's a very big, challenging thing. And that goes back to sort of the conversation we had yesterday about how do you amp yourself up when you're not amped up, and how do you focus yourself when you're not focused, right? But we even have these conversations my wife and I have them all the time. My wife's very smart. She's very prudent and all that kind of stuff. And we swapped out all the lights, put in LED lights. And, you know, she used to yell at me all the time because I'd leave lights on. I'm like, oh, I might come back, right? Oh, but you're wasting money. I'm like, why does it matter, right? So now we got these things where the lights automatically come on and automatically come off. I'm not joking. I come down the stairs to my office, all the lights come on as I'm walking through the house. The lights are coming on. And then when I leave, the lights go off, right? It's awesome, right? And it makes her happy because it's just emotional. It's not about the money. Okay, I guess you can say it's to save the environment, but I don't believe that for a second. So it's an emotional thing, right? Which is fine. But then I buy a Nest because, remember, I don't know if you noticed last week I was having thermostat problems in the office. So we get a Nest and stuff like that. And my wife's mother is with my wife as she's buying the Nest. You know, it's a fancy thermostat. It connects to the internet. It does all amazing things. It's going to save you lots of money, all that. And, you know, the mother-in-law is like, oh, my God, $220 for a thermostat. And I'm like, that's the old mindset. That's if you grew up in the 40s and 50s, right? Or you had parents that grew up in the 20s and 30s and lived through the Depression. What do you think my mother-in-law's mother taught my mother-in-law? Turn off the damn lights. We can't afford it. We don't have any money, right? Right? That kind of thing. And now I'm like, dude, these LED lights compared to a light bulb in 1947 is a little bit more efficient. Leave the freaking lights on. It's going to cost me a nickel. And by the way, on the long run, energy is going to be worth zero. Energy will be free. That's going to happen. right? So it's just funny, like, how do you change the mindset? Well, it's a difficult thing because the woman that lived through the Great Depression of 1930s, where people were starving to death, literally, then taught her daughter the same things that she learned during her lifetime. And then she taught her daughter, which is my wife, and now my wife is teaching my kids, and I'm like, wait. Let's look at it from a different point of view, right? And how do you break the cycle? It's not an easy cycle to break, right? And so now my challenge is, my kids have to go to school, they have to learn how to read and write and all that kind of stuff, and right, and arithmetic, right? That's a big new thing. Oh, and science, right? Okay, it wasn't important before. But anyway, so now they're learning their mediocrity, their basic things so that they can be a night manager at Taco Bell. So I got to take that and say, how do you make this person a world leader? So I talked with my daughter a few days ago. I said, look, you're going to have an opportunity to meet Angela Merkel, right? The most powerful woman in the world. Not only was she the de facto leader of all of Europe for a very, very long time, I think before that she was like a nuclear physicist or something, and a mother and a wife. I said, so what are you doing, or how can you tweak what you're learning or tweak your perspective while you're at school so that you're taking these lessons and harness that knowledge to become a world leader? Real conversation with my real daughter. So she was studying Australia, in fact, and she knows it in and out. She's ready to take the test. I'm like, do you think knowing where these countries are and what they do in the major cities and a little bit about their economies and political systems, do you think this will make you a powerful world leader someday? I bet you the school doesn't ask that kind of question. So, long story short, back to like, how do we change our own mindsets? Not an easy thing to do, right? Not an easy thing to do, but being aware of it might be it. So you should say, I can't afford to mow the lawn, right? Because I'm so focused on Forex. Because Forex is going to change my life. But I'll tell you what, if you don't have the money, then go out and mow the lawn, right? Because that has to be done. But why waste 5 hours setting up your charts when I'm like, I'll give you the charts for free? Or what if I said the charts are $4 and it's 5 hours of work? Would you pay the $4? You see what I mean? At some point, what's too expensive? Your 4 hours are cheaper. What's minimum wage? I don't even know what minimum wage is in the United States. What, $9 an hour? 9 times 5 is 45. If it's 5 hours a time, and I charge $50, do it yourself if you earn minimum wage. If I charge $10, it's $2 an hour. You should pay the $10. Anyways, train yourself is how, right? This is the idea. Let's do some yen pairs. Okay. We need a breakout, don't we? We know this is a level. We know this is a level. We know these are levels, but we open below. Okay, so that's a big red flag there. Okay, and then this is held. So I would, on a smaller time frame now, I would trap this, and I would consider being a buyer here and here and here. Craig, that is so stupid. It's not even laughable, right? So my advice to you on that, whatever you read, I love swing trading, chaotic. Whatever you read, Craig, I'm not I'm not attacking you at all, okay? But whatever you read, please stop reading it. So I don't know if it's some blog post or some YouTube video or if it was the Financial Times or something. Stop reading it. That's not going to be helpful for you. That is so ridiculous. It's not funny because it's harmful. Okay. And not because it's a threat. It's just so stupid. It's pushing you in the wrong mindset. We're just talking about how important it is to have the right mental, and emotional mindset. That's like, whew. Wayne, I have a pivot point question. If you could help with that, sure. Yeah, just delete it. Remove. Just never, ever, ever go there again. Yeah. They clearly have no idea what they're doing. And at best, they're idiots. At worst, they're pushing an agenda. Okay. The world can't even work without a foreign exchange market. Forex will collapse if there's a zombie apocalypse, if there's a nuclear holocaust, if all money in the world went away. Now, this is what I'm worried. It's some Bitcoin Yahoo. I love Bitcoin, by the way. I've really fallen in love with Bitcoin. But it's more blockchain than Bitcoin that I'm in love with, right? So if it's some Bitcoin Yahoo that's like, all money is going to go away, and, dude, just don't walk away, run, right? It'd be like if the person was standing in front of me at a party, I'd throw my drink in his face and like, what the, So anyways, enough said. All right, Kiwi. Whoa, 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 Kiwi. Okay. So I tried it here, by the way. Okay, I tried one here, and that didn't work none. Paid the penalty on that one, right? And then I thought about doing another one here, and then I'm like, wait for it. So now, this kind of action, this kind of frightens me. But we're going to need some serious price action. I think I want to be above here. I might not trade this month. Right? The yield isn't even really worth it. If you're trying to do yield, like I used to love clearing 850% a year on this. That was after I paid my cost of borrowing. It might have been 825%, but it might have been 800. Anyways, now it pays like nothing. So I'm not that really excited about it anyways, but that's desperate. So I'm more interested, wouldn't it be interesting if we formed in Head and Shoulders? Okay, and then we'd have to get above this. Then that would green light me for something more like buy it at the end of May and then prepare for it to move sideways through June and July and half of August, and then I'll make money September, October, and November, and maybe December. Okay? So I might start buying it 3 weeks from now if these things come together with the mindset of making money 6 months from now. I know, right? 6 months ahead. Yeah, we'll get you there. Okay, looks bearish, doesn't it? So what are you doing about it? Okay. Oops, I want to do a fatty. Let's do a fatty. Okay, down, 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 double bottom, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, double top, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower. Okay. So when I say that you should recognize a trend, I also tell you that the trend will be your friend forever and ever and ever until it breaks. But you want to get in the habit of identifying trends and then staying with the trend. So as long as it's making lower lows and lower highs, you're a bear. As long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, you're a bull. So like on that Kiwi yen trade, I bought at a double bottom in a place where it could be monthly support, and it very quickly wasn't. So I stopped. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get you at. So this is a euro. I have to drop this. This is euro yen. Okay. And as long as it's doing this, I'm not going to buy it. You understand? That's just part of the discipline of doing your analysis. Now, if you had to, if you were at a good level of support, let's say you were here, okay? Yeah, you could day trade it up, knowing that it'll probably fail, and you should take it day by day, not risk very much, wait for conservative entries, take your profit instead of trying to let your profit run. So if you're buying here, dude, it ain't going to reverse. You need to think that. It's never going to reverse. Now, it might be a buying opportunity, but you should take profit here. This might be a buying opportunity, but you should take profit here. Or get knocked out of break even. But you should say, I should, if I'm conservative, I will take profit quickly and I will move my stop quickly. Because these are risky trades, and you're essentially a scalper. Now, you might be a scalper for a day, so my inversion of scalping would be 50 pips, not 5 pips. Okay? I'm not going to take a 9 pip profit. That would be so, like, my time would be so cheap that it wouldn't be worth it. And these people that jam their stops at +1, so that they can have a winning record of I have 89% winners. I'm the world's greatest trader. Then you look at it, it's like +1, +2, +1, +8, right? You're like, dude, you're poor. You're just poor. You're like, it's the giant sucking sound of nothing. I'd rather see -1, -5, -3, plus 188, -2, -7, -5, 147 plus, right? You see what I mean? And what that tells me is that person manages their risk and is trying to let their winners run. Okay? Yeah, Karak, you have a year to watch 65 videos. And then when you think you know what you're doing, I'll recommend you go through a performance coaching session, and you will find out how much you still don't know and the glory of what's ahead. No, I think it's a year, Book Fixer. I believe I changed it. Your membership expires in a year, Chaotic, so it's up to you. So yes, can you watch them? Yes. Some of them you might watch once, but they're like an hour and a half long. Most are about 45 minutes long. There's 65-minute videos, but some are shorter. Some you might have to watch 10 times. Some you will just watch once. So we did them all, didn't we? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did it all. What would you like me to cover? Yeah, that's in the that's in one of them. Yes. Yeah. In fact, I did the lecture live in front of 300 people, 400 people, maybe. It wasn't a huge crowd. Pound Swissy. All right, so Pissy, Kiwi dollar, Euro ZAR. That's a great one. Are you long or short? On Kiwi Euro ZAR, sorry. Yes, if you buy it and it goes down, you lose money. That's the whole point. Yeah. Yeah, Euro ZAR is a great short. Just wasn't sure because someone might be long, they might be hedging ZAR. Yeah, I don't want to cover it here, but over the last couple of days, it looks something like. Oh, you can't see this now. Kind of looks like this. So I think we're kind of in this area. Maybe on a 1 hour chart, it looks something like that. So hopefully it continues, right? I don't like getting into the exotics with an amateur crowd. It's just the wrong thing. Okay. All right, so let's go back. Kiwi dollar and Pissy. Let's do that. Pissy and Kiwi dollar. We'll start with Pissy. Pound Swissy. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by repay. If you buy, if you buy a house for $1 million and it goes to $2 million, how much did you make? $1 million. You didn't make $2 million. You paid $2 million. If you buy a house for $1 million and the value falls to $500,000, how much have you lost? $500,000. You used to have $1 million asset, now you don't. Now you have a $500,000, or you sold it for $500,000. So you used to have $1 million in your account. You spent it on a house, then sold the house. Now you only have $500,000. So I'm not sure what you mean by repay, but either you always, no matter what you're doing, it's essentially a repay. All right, so pound Swissy. All right, talk to me, Goose. If you're a bull on pound Swissy, actually, let me get one click out. There you go. If you're a bull on pound Swissy, this was the buy zone when you were planning to front run. So remember, you already know what to do days and days before you actually trade. So we talked about and knew days and days before it happened, before these new pivots came out. The swing trading group already talked about this, already planned it. Okay? So what we were saying way out here was bears are going to sell around here. Bulls are going to buy around here. And they both might be cheeky in here. okay? But this is definitely a price at that time, okay? At that time, this is a price you definitely want to sell if you're a bear. This is a price you definitely want to buy if you're a bull, okay? And we knew that, let's say, a week before the new month. So bears are going to love that. And bulls are going to love this and this, okay? So it just comes down to which one you are. So bulls bought it up, and they made money, right? You see that? A bull bought it in here. Oops. Okay? And they're supposed to take profit here only because you should anticipate that that's where bears are. It's so very, 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 very obvious there are bears here. At the very least, a bull should take profit. Now, bears are going to try to sell this, and they're targeting this. Okay? Bulls were going to buy here and here if they had the opportunity, and their plan was, well, let's do it this way. Okay, like that. So once again, we don't know who's right or who's wrong, but we do know bulls were buying here and expecting to go here. Okay? That's all. That's all we know. This was rejected at an R1. And we also noticed that pound was ranging. So this is all about the Swiss franc. Okay? And if R1 holds, meaning like if this goes down, 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 we're only going to be back here, and now we're stuck in a range. So if we start breaching like this level to the downside, you should go from a bull or a bear, whatever you are, I don't know, and you should go neutral. If you don't go neutral, you're a pig and you're going to get slaughtered. This is a big red flag. Shields up, red alert. Right? We're not supposed to be below that. It's not supposed to be this way. Here's how it's supposed to be. Okay? By the way, when you finish the price action training, this will be easy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 up. So what the hell went wrong? So you need to be shields up, red alert. Something's not going to plan. Where's your stop, son? Okay? Now what if it does this to you? Relief rally, right? Because we're actually down here now, right? That'll be good, right? No, it's not, because there are a bajillion bears right there. Can you see them? There is a bajillion bears right here. Oh my God, you should see it. It's amazing. And if you get caught there, it's going to go here. So maybe you should have that planned out already, huh? If you get lucky, bulls, even though you didn't do your job, you were lazy and didn't manage your risk properly, you might just get lucky. And maybe it looks good on a higher time frame and it goes bullish again. You got saved. But you were supposed to go neutral. Okay? You are incredibly vulnerable. Incredibly vulnerable. It's shocking you didn't do anything. For example, where do the bears live? You knew that. You knew it. You knew it. So in the swing trading group, we talked about a gap filling strategy, and we talked about down. Now, I don't like that it's an R1, okay? But this week's target is there maybe here. Okay. Now, what we hope for is up, but the fact that you hope for it is okay. Okay, you understand that? Let me clear this out. It's absolutely, totally, 100% okay that your plan might have been fill the gap, continue mission. Okay? But it should be freak out time that it didn't. You understand? So one of the things we talked about in the swing trading group was, well, what if you're a long-term bull but short-term bear? You can scalp your way down. Okay? So day traders could day trade down, scalpers could scalp down, session traders, right? London Open guys, New York Open guys, you can trade that flow, okay? But it's when you breach this that it's absolute total freak out time if you still didn't manage your risk. Okay? You should have been at your charts right here as a bull when the market opened. I was. The swing trading group was. And the interesting thing is, if you're a bull, you're just absolutely certain this was coming down. What we're uncertain about is whether it goes up there or further down. We don't know that. We're assuming up, but dude, seriously, dude, you didn't do anything there? You got some risk management issues. Okay? You see what I mean? If you didn't react here or freak out here, you're not managing your risk properly. It might be because you didn't even recognize it. So you got really big problems. Okay, Kiwi dollar, and we're out. By the way, did you guys subscribe and like? Come on, where's the likes? Make sure you click the like button. And then also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Eric subscribed 14 minutes ago, but multiple people said they were new. Make sure you subscribe. What it does is it invites you to the next webinar when I start that one. Okay? Well, Book Fixer, I've known you for 15 years, so I imagine you're a subscriber. All right, let's do Kiwi dollar. Oh yeah, you have to do the bell? Yeah, and bell, right on. Okay. Which one do you guys want to use? We'll use this one. Okay. Cool. What do you want to do with this, bull or bear? Thanks, Jim Willie. Are you a bull or a bear? If I were a bull or a bear, and I were to marry, I would marry a Forex trader than any other chappie. He would pip and I would pip, we would pip together, waking up in the middle of the night, pipping one another. Bear. I was a bear. I'm a bear. Okay, I got two bears right off the gun. So bulls, sorry, you'll get a chance next time. Okay? Sell it. Sell it. Sell it. Sell it. Lost money. Sell it. Sell it. That's a close one. That's a close one. I don't know I'm going to count this as a loss. I don't want to like overemphasize how awesome. Okay, and then sell it. Okay. So you sold it, sold it, sold it. Took 3 days. 1 trade. Sold it, 2 trades. Sold it, 3 trades. Sold it, 4 trades. And I'm going to say you lost on 2. That's not quite true here. This is really, I'm going to make this neutral. I'm going to make this neutral. I'm going to do it like this. So you got 4 winners. 1, not sure if you made money or probably just sat on it, and you're a bear, so you ended up getting paid. I just don't want to overemphasize it. And then 3, you definitely lost. Or I mean 1, you definitely lost. So you got 1 loser, 4 winners. How much did you lose here? Well, typically you're above the R1, and that's why some of these I'm like, it's close. But since it was so tight, range bound the earlier day, you wouldn't have freaked out. So anyways, let's say you definitely lost a small one here. Okay. And then what? Well, this, you might have just sat on this, right? But you might have traded 3 times, but we're counting it as 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4. So even though this is 3 days worth of trading or 4 days worth of trading, guys, I'm only counting that as 1 win. It took you 4 days to make money. Okay, and then you definitely made money there, and you definitely made money there, and you definitely made money there, and you might have made money here, probably made money. So this is 4.5, I'd say 4, more likely 5, and then 1 loss. So let's just do this. They offset each other, so you got 4 wins as a bear. But you had to be patient. Do you remember how I talk about discipline? Patience and discipline. Patience and discipline. Patience and discipline. If I can teach you patience and discipline, you can be successful as a currency trader, regardless of whether you use 5A crosses, oscillators, price action only, no indicators, some indicators. You love pivot points, you hate pivot points, whatever. I don't give a dang. If I can teach you patience and discipline, you will be a success at Forex, and then probably everything else you attempt. Okay? And then do one last thing. I don't know how many people are still here. Leave me a comment about day trading. I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it an alert service. It wouldn't be an alert service. A guidance service, market guidance service, or some sort of guidance on helping you plan your trades in advance. Let's do it that way. And again, the way in my meditation, I was thinking about it, you would sign up. It would ask you like 2 or 3 really basic questions because it's trying to figure out your bias. And then it'll guide you. Maybe it'll look for decent trades. It'll show you decent setups and all that kind of stuff. Okay? And let's just say it's $100 a month, right? So let me know if that's something that you would even be remotely interested in. Like I said, maybe it'll be like, maybe I'll tie it into the swing trading group, or maybe it's a standalone service. I don't know. It's just a thought. It's not a sales pitch or anything. It's just a thought. I don't know if that's something that you would want or not. If it is, let me know, and I'll consider it. Because, I just have to add money, and it's yours. Okay? So imagine every day you saw plans for tomorrow. Okay? But only plans that fit your bias. You see what I mean? I don't know. I haven't made it up. Right, Lulo? It doesn't exist. So, I don't know. I made it up. But as many as you need. A few. How about that? A few. and they only cover things that you're interested in seeing. And the point is not to put you into trades and make you money. The point is to give you training wheels as you learn how to trade plan. So maybe I even force you to go through a trade planning course, and it's a guide. Yeah, you can see it right here, can't you? Roman, I've been trading for 20 years. Okay. Before that, I was a venture capitalist. Before that, I was an entrepreneur. Before that, I ran a company of 3,000 people with George Soros. So, whatever. All right. So I'm qualified, son. I'm qualified. And in 8 days, I will have my first degree from Harvard in macroeconomics. That's pretty qualified. That's good. I'm half done my second degree already. Cool. So, good enough, I guess, right? Good enough for the girls I go with. All right. So, cool. Hopefully you give me feedback. I appreciate that. If not, I'm just going to forget about it and just move on. Right? Is that right? Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are probably the two people I respect the least. So, anyways. So if you're actually Bill Gates' son, that's cool. I guess. Right on. So, hey, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And if you subscribe, I'll see you tomorrow. You'll get an alert from YouTube, hopefully. And what else? Tomorrow's Thursday. Well, so today's Wednesday. We have oil inventory. So pay attention to CAD. Pay attention to oil. What else? If the markets are boring, there's 4,000 videos on YouTube related to my work. 4,000 videos on YouTube associated with my work. Feel free to watch them all for free. If you like my chart templates, download them for free in the video description below. Subscribe, like, comment, give me feedback, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being on my team every day, and thank you for the loyalty and respect you show me every day. I appreciate you. Cheers.